It's time to talk about wealth pie. Wealth pie is a process, a system on how you divide up the dosh that comes into your life. Here's the best get-rich-quick secret. It doesn't matter what you earn. It doesn't matter how you earn it. It doesn't even matter necessarily how you spend it. What matters is what you do with it. How you manage your money, how you allocate it, how you give it some guidance so that it can actually support you in your life is the most critical wealth skill that you need to learn. And all of our education teaches us how to go out there and earn more money. All of the advertisers and media tells us how we should spend it. But it's the gap between is the most important element that is going to determine your relationship with money and whether money can support and serve you or enslave you. So let's dive into Wealth Pie. Wealth Pie is a money management system which is all about ensuring that you allocate different amounts of money to your different life needs. The reality is your needs are diverse and so are your financial needs. And if you just have one big pile of money trying to cover all of those needs, it's never going to be able to do that. Imagine having a sports team and nobody's got different roles to play. Everybody's in the goals or everybody's a shooter or a kicker. You're just going to be like this 3-year-old football match where everybody's chasing the ball and it goes nowhere. It might be fun to watch, but it's not very successful. So just like in a sports team, everybody has different roles, different points and objectives in the team. Your money needs that as well. So there are 6 key players, say, in your wealth pie, or 6 key elements. And so with every bit of money that comes into your life, and yes, every bit of money, it's really important that you have a system of how to allocate and divide that money up. And that's why we call it wealth pie, because it's dividing that money up into different slices. So when money comes into your life, the very first and most important allocation that needs to happen before anything else is you need to allocate at least 10% of what comes in to paying yourself first. In fact, to paying your freedom first. This is money that gets invested. And if you don't yet know the difference between investing versus saving, go and watch the blog that we've done on that. But this money is allocated towards your financial freedom, to create assets, to invest, to build up these things that can create your freedom. So you can get a nice shiny equivalent pot and go, okay, 10% of your money goes into your pay yourself first. That is your freedom pot. Now, your next 10% that comes in, what should we put that into? Yes, I like these pots with lids because you want to protect yourself from your money, especially your investing pot. You don't pilfer from it. And the next 10% goes into your save to spend pot. Again, a really big difference between investing and saving. And so your save to spend is the next 10% allocation. And in there, you're building up your emergency fund, your cash safety net, with the intention of spending money later. Again, there's a different blog on understanding an emergency fund and your cash safety net, but this is the part where you're putting money aside with the intention to spend it later. Super important that you do that. Save to spend is your next slice of that pie. Now the third slice comes in is a real interesting one. So let's do green for growth. And this is about your personal expansion. It's really important to understand, and now having worked with thousands of people, I know this to be true in my own life and theirs, that our wealth can only grow in direct proportion to our ability to bring the money in, to manage that money and to grow it. So our capacity with how we handle money, our ability to invest it, our ability to learn what to do with it and create assets is going to have a direct impact on how much of that money you get to keep and how your wealth grows. And so you need to be allocating some money in your life to ensure that you are growing. You're growing in your knowledge, your skills. Is that mentors you need in your life? Is that training programs to attend? Is there some additional courses you want to grow your capacity, your knowledge in both this area of your financial well-being, but also in maybe your chosen profession? Are you ensuring that you also can increase your earning potential as well as your investing potential? So it's super important that you allocate some money to your own growth, because if you're not growing, you're dying. So there you go, 10% into your freedom, 10% into your saving, 10% into your growing. Now the next 10% is super fun, and that's why we got the heart pot for it. And this is your joy pot. You can call it your fun pot, your play pot. The reality is, life is meant to be loved. It's meant to be lived. It's meant to be joyful. And of course there's practicalities and things we need to do. There's things like brushing our teeth or going to sleep that, might feel a bit boring. Maybe for you cooking food is that. But at its core, life is meant to be loved and lived. And so you've got to be conscious about, are you directing some of the money that comes into your life to consciously direct it to joy? Because also, here's one of the most fundamental laws of wealth and life. If you aren't topped up, if your batteries aren't full, if you aren't charged and be able to bring enthusiasm to your life, it's just going to be so much harder to do the things you need to do. This is about how do you bring your passion to your life rather than trying to expect your life to bring you that passion. And the more that you've allocated some time and money and energy to things that fill you up, the more you are going to be able to do the other things that you need to do in life that are vital to this whole well-being. So your play pot is super fun, but it's not necessarily an easy pot, because it also means you've got to get real clear on what truly brings you joy, not what media says you should spend your money on. Maybe for you going and having a massage just feels hideous, but for somebody else it's amazing. I go and get my nails done, but oh my God, it's like, can I get that over as quickly as possible? I don't find any joy in that. Give me a jigsaw puzzle, I can lose myself forever. It also doesn't have to be expensive things, but really start taking note. What are the things that bring you joy? What lights you up? And then this 10% of all the money you get, this account, this pot, is to fund those things, flying that kite. But it's also really important that this is stuff that you do. So often people will then go, oh, and I'll allocate that money to my family, my kids. No, this is about bringing your joy pot right up so that you can do the rest of your life. So there you go. We've already allocated 40% of your money. You're going to go, and where do I pay for the food, the rent, the utilities, whatever? Well, that is this next pot. This is your necessities. Don't you love this pot? This is all about getting the day-to-day stuff done, cooking the food, providing the house, chopping the wood. This is necessities of life. And it's really important that you get your necessity, the cost of your day-to-day life, down to no more than 55% of the money that comes in. So if you earn 100, only 55 should be going to the day-to-day costs. Now you might be going, okay, and let's switch off this video right now. I get it. For most people, that's not the case. For many people, they completely break even. Everything that comes out gets consumed in their life because we've got this unconscious rule that we've been told that we've got to get rid of everything that comes in. And also part of the rule is, oh, well, we're meant to constantly upgrade our lifestyle to match what comes in. But as long as you do that, you're just in what's called a break-even money flow. And that is a real problem, because you're never actually going to be able to create wealth by getting assets, savings, these other things in your life. For many people, their necessities maybe cost them 120, 140% of their lifestyle. They're constantly having to go into debt or overdraft to pay for things. That is a real challenge. Now, there's a fantastic book that I absolutely love. It's called The Millionaire Next Door by two authors, Stanley and Danko. Those are their surnames. And it's a book, wow, maybe 15, 20 years old, where they went and studied people who were millionaires in their lifetime. They didn't inherit it, they actually created it. And they found one of the consistent habits and principles of people who were independently wealthy is that they consistently spent their lifestyle, consistently cost them less than what they brought in. And so we've got up to 95% allocation of the money that comes in. We've got paying your freedom first, save to spend, making sure you can grow and expand yourself and your capacity and your ability to manage and handle money and bring it in. Joy, making sure you have fun in your life. Necessities, making sure that you bring your cost of your lifestyle down so that you can really allocate to these other areas. And what's really key in terms of this is also ensuring you get the value from everything you have. So if you haven't checked out Squeeze the Juice yet, go and do that, because there's always rats in the pantry, a way to bring that down. And the final 5%, that is contribution. This is so important. It sends such a message to our unconscious when we're able to contribute time, money, energy to others, is that it tells us that there's more than enough. There always is enough. And it starts breaking this unconscious fear that so many people are controlled by, that there's not enough, or there might not be enough, and we can hoard and hold on. And that's so destructive to our well-being, but also to our wealth. And so I allocate 5% to contribution. Now, if you want to increase that to tithing in some form, to 10%, if that's part of your practice, then that other 5% needs to come from your necessities, not from these other parts. Yep, you're going to have to reduce your necessities down even more. Now, here's one caveat. If you are blitzing your debt, if you've got any form of consumer debt, your credit cards, overdrafts, loans that you need to be getting rid of, you're going to take that 5% contribution and you're going to take 5% from your savings pot. And though that 10% is going to form your debt blitzing fuel. Now, we cover your debt blitzing snowball in another vlog, but a lot of people say, but Anne, where does my additional debt down payment happen? So firstly, your repayments on your minimum repayments and your standard debt repayment must come out of your necessities. Yes, it must. And then your additional money that you throw towards your debt destruction comes out of your contribution and 5% from your saving. Not from your assets, not from your play, not from your growth, because you need all of those to keep expanding your wealth. Because the greatest gift you can give the world in terms of contribution is you being financially liberated, you being free of consumer debt. And that's why you need to put your own oxygen mask on first, as they tell us in the airplane, before you can help others. And remember, you can contribute in other ways, your time, your energy. Share with somebody else how to manage their money. There's no better way to learn than to teach. So there you have it, managing your money. The best get-rich-quick scheme there is in the world, being great with giving your money direction. So instead of enslaving you, it can support and serve you. So wherever you're watching this, I would love you to tell me in the comments below, which of these pots do you already have in your life and which ones don't? Are you good at the play pot? Or maybe you're like, oh no, that's the first thing that goes. Are you growing? Are you investing? And how scary does it feel to get your necessities down to 55%? Or maybe you're there already. So yeah, in the comments, just let me know what does your current money management look like? And how does it feel to get a system and process in place? So I'm Ann Wilson, and just keep taking step by step towards your freedom, because that's all it takes. Bye for now.